Hello, welcome back to the stream, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to Mystery Monday. Just a reminder, if you are on Twitch, I do post my VODs on YouTube, and if you're on YouTube, I am live on Twitch. The link is in the description below. We haven't played this in a little bit, but that's alright. That's alright. We're gonna get on in here. Oh yeah, I called it Nancy. I did start a Nancy let's play last week on my channel if you want to watch that. Preliminary, okay. Why those have stars on them? Oh, those are the difficult. I thought for some reason that I already did that one. Which one did I do? Did it not tell me which one I already did? Oh, okay, never mind. Just kidding. Just kidding. That's the one we did last time. Dinner party, that's the one from the demo. And let's do the dinner party one last, and let's do the celebration. Like I said, since the other one was from the demo, let's do this one first. Like I said, it's been a little while since I played this one. I kind of forgot. A group of teenagers were brought in for questioning regarding a murder that took place at a party held at apartment 403. Some of the stories did not match up and no one has admitted to anything. By carefully examining the details of the scene and reading their statements, can you piece together what happened at this party? Alright. Remind me, does this game have music or do I need to put on my own music? I feel like there's no music. Oh my goodness. 401. Oh my god, what on earth just happened? 402, so 403. Let's come in here and see if there's music. Okay, music started, okay. They're out there, okay. Oh my goodness, the camera is like kind of jerky. That very well could be user error as well. Can I actually turn the music up? Oh, it's already up. Okay. Can I turn my music up? I hope that it sounds good for the stream / recording. We'll have to double check that after the fact. I can't really do anything about that right now. My goodness. Alright. So they said it was a party. So here are their interview. Christy, Jack, Lisa, Andrew, Grace, Eric. Should we read those first? Who died? Who was the second last to survive? So as always, I do have some notes that I'm just gonna like write down. Second last to arrive. I think, did I say arrive or survive? Owner of the blue sports bag. A blue sports bag. And who is the killer, obviously. So those are the questions we have to answer. Oh my goodness. Hello. Okay, should we read the interview questions first? So that was our situation. There's a party. Oh my god, there's so much. Okay, it actually starts out not that bad. So Christy. So the date is June 1st, 2003. Officer. Hello, Miss Carter. Can you please answer my question? Christy. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. What was the question again? Did you go to see Brian on the 31st of May? So they're asking if she's seen Brian. Is Brian the person that was killed? No. Did you have any physical contact with him at all during this week? No. When was the last time you met or spoke with Brian? Maybe a week and a half ago? Are you aware that Mr. Brian Olsen is dead? Okay. So... Brian Olsen. Olsen is dead. Are you aware that Mr. Brian Olsen is dead? What? Are you sure? He was killed last night in his apartment. Where were you the night of the 31st of May? So this was May 31st, just writing down my notes just in case I need to reference it. Actually, let's do this. Let's do that. So she said that she was at home. So Christy says she is at home. That's what she says anyway. Jack. That's all the same day, I guess. Yeah, they're all the same day. Jack. So you are also in the band. Yes, I play bass. I also play guitar, but I usually end up playing the bass. How do you describe your relationship with Brian? So I'm guessing he was in a band with Brian. Brian, honestly, he's more of Eric's friend than mine. Eric and I have known each other since elementary and have been tight since. Eric introduced me to Brian in high school and we started playing together. Can you go over your accounts of the incident? I was working most of the day. I eventually left and headed to Brian's place. I bumped into Grace at the library and we both went up together. What time did you arrive? 6:45. Do you recall seeing anyone before entering the apartment? No, I mean, other than the guy at the front desk, all of us had something to drink, so some things might be unclear. I do remember Grace was being pretty obnoxious the whole night. After I finished my drink, I left the apartment. Why did you leave? As I mentioned to the other officer, Brian was smoking heavily and I can't stand the smell of it. Where'd you go? I went back home. Was anybody with you at the time? Anybody who could corroborate your story? No, not even the man at the front desk. Look, this is getting annoying. I didn't do anything wrong. You got nothing on me. Just let me go. Okay, well, you're getting touchy, dude. Okay, so Jack said he went to the party at 6:45. Said he plays the bass. I don't know if that's important, but he's more friends with Eric than Brian. Bumped into Grace, arrived at 6:45. Front desk guy saw him. Grace was obnoxious. Grace obnoxious. I don't know if that's important, but maybe it is. I don't know. Grace was obnoxious. He doesn't like smoking. And then he went back home. And then he got touchy. He got touchy. I mean, if you're being accused of being a murderer, then like that's kind of fair enough. I'm one of the tenants of the apartment. How close are you with your brother? Okay, so Brian and Lisa are siblings. Close enough. I mean, we don't. I guess so. Anyway, we don't talk about deep things or anything. He mostly keeps to himself. Are you aware of the allegations towards him? Okay, so her brother is being accused, I think. What allegations? Okay, let's change the topic. Oh, really? Out of all the attendees, has any of them shown any violent behaviors, or tendencies? Violent, not really. Well, actually, Andrew has been suspended a few times for getting into fights. Can you recall the last time he got into a fight? Last week, he and this other guy were fighting over a girl. Wait, you don't actually think he did it, right? Do you usually lock the door for your room? I like to keep my room private. Brian sometimes has friends. Okay, so she's Brian's roommate. I lock it anytime I have to head out. But you said you lost your key. I was coming back from a friend's house. I must have accidentally left it there. What time did you leave your friend's house? 6:30. Okay, hold on. This is kind of long. Let's write down as we go. So Lisa is Brian's roommate. Brian's roommate. Allegations against brother, who we don't know who her brother is right now. I'm guessing that she knows about the murder though, because like they're kind of like talking about it, like they already know that Brian's dead. So like, why is she confused about the allegations if they're not talking about her brother being a suspected like murderer? So I don't know. Says Andrew gets into fights. Andrew gets into fights. He and this other guy was fighting over a girl. So yeah, I keep my room private. Brian has friends over, so I lock it anytime I head out. You said you lost your key. Lost room key. I was coming back from a friend's house and I must have accidentally left it there. What time did you leave friend's house? At around 6:30. So left friends at 6:30. I like how the music just randomly stopped. How did you get into the apartment? Well, it was already open. Most of them were already inside. Brian must have let them in. Door was open. What time did you arrive? At around 7. Did you keep a spare key? Yes, we keep a spare on the kitchen wall, but it was missing. Someone must have taken it. Spare key was missing. I checked as soon as I came back, but it was already gone. So how did you get into your room? Brian used his key to let me in. So she kept her door locked to keep it private, but Brian had a spare key to her room. So they had a, yeah. Hold on. So you keep a spare key. Yeah, so this, I'm guessing, is the spare key meaning the spare apartment key? Because it said Brian used his key to let me in her room and let her into her room. So I'm guessing that the spare apartment key was missing. But Brian let her into her room with his spare room key. Let her in room with spare. Do you often have parties at the apartment? Mostly for special occasions, but sometimes just to hang out on weekends. Is there alcohol? Yes. Pause. Andrew usually buys the drinks for us. So, Andrew. Could you repeat what you told us? Are they minors or something? Because, like, why are they hesitating? I was asleep. I woke up. It was dark. Okay, the music randomly started back again. I woke up. It was dark. I went to the restroom. And that's when I saw him lying there in his room. I didn't know what to do. Starts crying. Interesting that they're talking about buying drinks and then he said to repeat it and then she like stops talking about the drinks. And then what happened? I panicked and screamed. Moments later, Andrew came running by, gave me a panic attack. Do you have any suspicion as to who the murderer could be? I don't know. I don't understand how this could happen. We're already really good friends. So she woke up and found Brian. Woke up, found Brian, and Andrew was there. So that feels kind of important that unless other people were still there, but we already know that Christy said that she went home. Jack, did Jack say when he left? He arrived at 6:45. And then he said he went home, but not at a specific time. So now we have Andrew, the guy that has anger issues. Or has fighting issues. Can you please account when you and the others arrived at the apartment? I arrived at the apartment around the same time as Lisa. Arrived with Lisa. Actually, didn't, right, I'm writing that, Jack arrived with Grace. I forgot to write that down. So Andrew arrived with Lisa. Everybody was already there, so I don't know when the others arrived. Arrived with Lisa. Everyone was already there. What happened after? I don't know, man. I thought you could, I thought you would have all the answers. It's after midnight. I'm tired as hell. I gotta go. Okay. What happened after? I was in the toilet puking for quite a bit and then I woke up Eric. He puked and then woke up Eric, who we haven't spoken to yet. And where was Jack during this time? I don't know. None of us saw him for the rest of the night. No one saw Jack. He said he left. Did they not know that he left? There's a lot of characters on this one, so that I feel like this is gonna be a little bit difficult. Kind of keeping everybody straight, you know what I mean? No one saw him for the rest of the night. You were the one who brought the drinks to the party, yes. You're not old enough to drink. How did you purchase them? ... Did you contaminate the drinks? Of course I didn't contaminate the drinks. You do know that underage drinking or purchase of alcohol is a misdemeanor. Really, that's all you got? I thought you guys were trying to solve a murder. Get serious. It's a complete waste of time. None of my friends... Ugh. Hiccup. None of my friends did what you're suggesting. And then that's it. Okay, so now we are talking to Grace. Can you elaborate more on your relationship with Brian? I already told you, he and I have been dating for about a year and things were going well. Okay, so Grace was dating Brian. Can you count, tell me your accounts of the evening. Christy is 100% guilty here. That lying bitch has been trying to get in between Brian and I ever since we got together. She can't stomach that he chose me and not her. I'm telling you, that girl is batshit psycho. Okay, so she's saying... Accuses Christy. And saying that Christy is jealous of their relationship. Calm down. Don't tell me to calm down. Answer the question. Fine. I arrived at the apartment same time as Jack. Arrived with Jack. Is that what Jack said? Yeah, Jack arrived with Grace. So they're both saying the same thing. And they could have gotten their story together, like, beforehand, you know what I mean? Where was I? Arrived at the same time as Jack. We got out of the elevator just in time to see Christy leave the apartment and run off. So when they got there, arrived when they got out of the elevator just in time to see Christy leave. Arrived when Christy left. Why the hell was she even there? Does she not even— please focus. Are you sure you saw her leave the apartment? 100%. She's the only girl in the world that has dyed green hair and braids her hair like that. So Christy has braided green hair. What does she mean braids her hair like that? What do you mean by that? I like how the music just like stops. Can you recall if anybody passed out before you did? Oh, sorry. Andrew came in with drinks. We all started playing a drinking game. We went on for most of the night and I eventually knocked out. Did anyone pass out before you did? I'm sorry, I can't. I completely blacked out. I guess I must have drank too much because the cops already arrived by the time I woke up. So, she passed out. And then cops arrived. And that's all she knows. Alright, so last one, Eric. Can you please account for when you and the others arrived? I know I was the fourth to arrive. So he's saying fourth to arrive. Brian, Grace, and Jack were already there. Brian, Grace, and Jack already there. Which Brian, I mean, lives there, right? So Jack arrived at 6:45 with Grace. And then obviously, like, Brian lives there, so you would assume that he would be there first, you know what I mean? So Brian, Grace, Jack, and then Eric is fourth. I'm gonna write this down. I think it's Brian, Grace, Jack, and then Eric said he's fourth to arrive. So Jack and Grace arrived at 6:45. Lisa arrived at 7. Andrew arrived with Lisa. By the time Grace and Jack arrived, Christy already left. But we don't know what time that was. Yeah, let's continue. We're already there. I must have missed something because Grace's attitude was off the entire time. Maybe Grace and Brian had a fight. I have no idea. I was super glad when Lisa arrived. She always livens the mood. I think Andrew was the last to come. Okay. And Andrew last to arrive. So that means Andrew and Lisa were last then. So we have Brian. Brian would have been first. Because he lives there. I mean, you know. And then Grace and Jack would have been second and third. Eric would have been fourth. So that leaves Lisa. Says Andrew was last. Andrew was last. And then Lisa. Let me just go back real quick. I don't think Lisa said she arrived with anyone, did she? She arrived at 7. Is that everybody? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6, right? 6. Andrew was the last. He's always late for everything. Were you drinking? We all were. Grace usually doesn't drink that much. But last night she was chugging as if there was no tomorrow. Anything to note of last night? I'm not sure how drunk I was, but I do remember Jack and Brian were arguing for a bit. Things got pretty heated. Okay, there's the music, for crying out loud. Am I gonna have to put on regular music? There's not like periods of silence. Jack and Brian were arguing. Jack and Brian argued. Things got pretty heated. Brian eventually got up and locked himself in his room. So Brian locked self in room. Well, there are spare keys, so someone got the spare key. Were you the one who called 911? Yes. Called 911. I don't feel like I suspect Eric, because like, why would you call 911? You know what I mean? Unless he's trying to like get the heat off of him and be like, I couldn't have been it. I'm the one that called 911. It says here that on the report you discovered the body and called law enforcement after 2 hours. Interesting. Discovered body called after 2 hours. After 2 hours of him discovering the body? Or after 2 hours of death? Because like he could have been sitting there for 2 hours dead and he didn't find him. Why'd you take so long to call? Because Andrew was completely against it, okay? Andrew against calling cops. Why was he against calling the authorities? Something about underage drinking and getting him in more trouble. He was against calling the cops because underage drinking. I mean, I feel like the death is more important. Is this like their apartment? I'm guessing so, because like that means they're like a bunch of like 18, 19, 20-year-olds that are living in an apartment. I mean, guys, that's like a thing, but that's just a little bit young to be like away from home and all that. I mean, I know what happens, but still. Underage drinking. Look, I know he's a little dumb at times, but trust me, he didn't do this. Error, mic stops working. Interesting. That's the only one that happened to. What part of I don't remember how much, what part of I don't remember much do you not understand? Please come. Okay, that's interesting. Why did he just like get mad? We want to clarify certain details. Please tell us again. Like I said, I was drinking heavily that night. I must have passed out because the next morning I remember Andrew waking me up by pouring water on my face. Andrew woke up pouring water on his face. Lisa tells me that you had a pretty big argument with Brian last night. Want to tell me about it? Seriously, you guys are reaching. He was on my case about interrupting rehearsals with my mistakes. I've been busy recently, so I haven't had much time to practice, but come on, there's no way I'd kill him over something like that. I pride as a musician. I was gonna show him up with my performance. Okay, so he's saying that he argued with Brian about the band. Or about his performance in the band. Okay, so far we need to figure out Christy and Lisa. We have Brian, Grace, Jack, Eric, and then Christy and Lisa, and then Andrew. So So Jack arrived at 6:45. Sorry, 6:25. So Brian, he lives there. He would have been there first. Jack and Grace arrived at 6:45 together, or at the same time. Eric was fourth to arrive. Did he say what time? He just said fourth to arrive. He didn't say a time. And then... and they're already there. Eric, Andrew is last to come. And then we have Christy and Lisa. Lisa... yeah, we need to figure out who her brother is. Maybe Andrew's her brother. So she said she left at... oh, she arrived at 7. So Lisa arrived at 7. So if Grayson, Jack got there at 6:25 and Eric got there after that, I feel like Lisa could have been next because she got there at 7. And I think she arrived by herself. And so last is Christy. And Christy... she really is not helpful. Because it's like, oh, he's dead? Are you sure? Did anyone say that they arrived with Christy? Jack arrived with Grace. Lisa left friends at 6:30. Arrived at 7 to the party. Andrew arrived with Lisa. Okay. So then Andrew... Lisa at 7. Andrew arrived with Lisa. Andrew arrived with Lisa. Who said that? I arrived at the apartment around the same time as Lisa and everyone was already there. So Andrew and Lisa were basically second to last, which tells me that Christy arrived between Eric and Lisa. So this is the order we have so far. We have Brian, Grace, Brian, then Grace and Jack at 6:25, then Eric was 4th, then Christy, then Lisa arrived at 7 with Andrew. So the question of who was second to last to arrive, if Lisa and Andrew came at the same time, would that be Christy? Who was I looking at? Eric? Was I looking at Eric's? Or who was I looking at? Lisa. Where was I looking at? Where was I looking at? I don't remember who I was looking at. Eric was 4th to arrive. Jack, 6:45. Lisa, 7. Andrew arrived with Lisa. Was it Andrew's? Arrived at the apartment around the same time as Lisa. Everyone was okay. So would Lisa then have been second to last then? She said around the same time versus... who was it? Someone else said that they saw each other in the lobby and they went up together. So if you said around the same time, as I'm looking at the ceiling. If he said around the same time as Lisa, that almost sounds like she arrived slightly before him. Okay, oh, hello. Someone has an inhaler and an EpiPen. And it looks like, I don't, it's not pink, but that's like the, looks like a breast cancer awareness ribbon, but it's not pink. Anyway. So someone has, an inhaler. And an EpiPen. So someone has allergies. And asthma. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Carter, welcome to Nobles 2003 Summer School. Your children's schedules for the Nobles Public High School 2003 Summer Academic Program can be found in your NPS portal account. The schedule includes the course number, name, and teacher assignment. Once students have picked up their summer school package and submitted their summer plans form, summer pass form with school security, they will... Okay, hold on. I'm going to turn off music. And I'm gonna put music on, my computer because there's like, the music comes and goes. And so it's kind of annoying. You know what I mean? That it just like gets silent for like large like periods of time. Let's see if I can find some like music that's like kind of mysterious. Let's do music, pop, jazz. What am I looking for? Suspenseful music. Let's do that one. Well, let's turn that kind of down like a little bit in case it's really loud. Okay. Let's do that. That's getting really annoying that it's like the music keeps cutting out. Okay, so let me just remind myself. Carter is his last name, right? Oh no, Christy is Miss Carter. So it's Christy Carter. And so in her backpack, there's inhaler and an EpiPen. There's an inhaler and EpiPen, and she had to go to summer school. This music is already better. It's already better. Okay, so inhaler and EpiPen, and then when they interviewed her, they called her Miss Carter, and this is a letter to Mr. and Mrs. Carter. So these are her parents, which is telling me that they were still in high school. So this must be, and well, I mean, unless Brian and Lisa, who's his roommate, are like 19 or something like that, like graduated high school, and they have like friends who are still in high school, but she's going to summer school, so she's still in high school. The program offers students the option of earning credits and beginning the school year in line to graduate with their class. Enclosed are a summer school course list and registration form, student contract that should be read and signed by student and parent or guardian. Summer school starts Tuesday, June 3rd, ends after class on Friday. After classes on Friday. Or August 1st. Any student who plans to attend must be present from the first day. The registration, student contract form, and check for the full tuition of $220. Do you have to pay for summer school? I'm actually not sure. Is that usually what you have to do? I don't know. $225 per course. That's kind of, like, depending on how many courses you have to take, that's kind of expensive. Are due on or before the first class. These courses will be offered only if enrollment is sufficient. Please note that your student summer school grade does not replace any failing grade earned during the regular school year. The summer school courses allows your students to earn credit to meet specific graduation requirements. Please review the information enclosed. We look forward to successful summer experience. All right. So that's gonna be Christy. Oh my god, I'm the sense. Can I turn the sensitivity down? Controls. Is there like a? Yeah, can we turn the sensitivity down a little bit? Okay, so they're playing darts. There's like plate of food. I still is a little bit sensitive. Okay, so is this the blue sports bag they're talking about? So in the sports bag, there's a drumstick. So we know that, Jack plays the bass, but he sometimes plays guitar. So this doesn't feel like this is Jack's. I didn't mean to close that. Grease on the elbow, okay. Snare line. Which tracks? Alright, I don't think that this is gonna really matter. Intro, verse, pre-chorus, okay. Maybe we're gonna have to look at some handwriting, I don't know. Hey, I know we're becoming better friends than we have been. I just feel like I owe it to myself to get this out. Christy, I do have feelings for you, and I'm really nervous to tell you this. And by this, I'm not asking you to return these feelings, nor am I asking you to be anything more than you have been to... And then it stops. So, Grace said she had been dating Brian, and says that Christy liked Brian. You don't think that Christy and Brian were having a little bit of an affair, do we? So we know Brian obviously is part of the band, but we don't know what he plays. Is that everything? Oh, so tennis. Also plays tennis. It keeps like backing out. I think that's everything. I'm guessing that's the blue bag they're talking about, because I can't see the color of it really, because it's kind of dark. And with like my lights and everything. Yeah, that's still the bag, okay. I was trying to see if I could pick up anything of the trash. Let me turn the sensitivity down again. Okay, so there are the drinks, pizza. Nothing of interest as far as I can tell. The Wolf Pack, home of the Golden Wolves. So that's... Why do they have their high school banner up? That's weird. Right? Who does that? Are they all still high schoolers? Okay, so this is Eric's cup. Anything interesting about it? Not really. Why can't we pick that up? This is Andrew. Andrew's cup. That's not really interesting either. Oh yeah, where's the aren't there usually like in the corner, like the last time? Oh, Clueless T. That's so weird that it's not in the corner until I hit T, you know what I mean? Okay, so we looked at all the case files in the living room. There's one more clue to find. And I'm guessing it's all the red cups because it says I have 2 out of 6 red cups. I can't imagine there's anything interesting about any of these cups. Unless, like, we can see something inside of it, but... Anything in the trash? Brian's cup. Interesting. Brian... Hold on. Does Brian's cup look empty and unused? Oh, Jack's cup still has some stuff in it. Jack didn't drink that much. This is Grace's cup. See how, like, in the bottom, I don't know if you can really see that very well. In the bottom of all these cups, like, it looks like they are, like, dirty, you know what I mean? So, like, Andrew's cup was the same way. It has, like, that same kind of texture on the bottom. Eric's had the same thing on the bottom. And it looks like it also was spilled, too. But then Brian's cup looks completely like, hold on, is that clean or is there still some liquid on the bottom? That might be liquid. Cause like it doesn't like pour out or anything. That actually might be liquid. Maybe never mind. Did I see Grace's? One more red cup to find. And Lisa. Lisa still has stuff in hers. Why does that color look different? Like, that looks like kind of more bluey. And then that one looked... Oh, I'm like in the dark. Maybe it's just a shadow. It's probably just a shadow. Oh my god, the music got intense. I wish I could turn the freaking light on. It's always so freaking dark. Alright, I'm gonna assume that that's everything because it says 6 out of 6 in the living room. I just never know if, like, is that all the clues in here? Or is that just, the important clues? Alright, so we have 3 doors. I'm gonna guess, since that says girls only, no boys allowed, which, by the way, how old are you? Like, grow up. This is Lisa's room. Because she is Brian's roommate. So why don't we go in there first? Cute. Okay, so we have a computer that it looks like we can get into. Let's wait to do the computer. I feel like this music is way too intense for what we're doing right now. Hopefully it's also not too loud. Let me turn my volume down. There we go. I can't see on Earth what that says. 2000 Summer Champion, 2002 Summer Champion, 2002 Winter Champion. So she played tennis. So that leads me to believe if this is Lisa's room. If this is Lisa's room, she played tennis. Therefore, the sports bag is hers. Sports bag owner, which means she's also the drummer of the band. I'm locking that in. Lisa is owner of the blue sports bag. I'm calling it. It is Lisa. I feel like that feels pretty obvious. When it comes to the second to last to arrive, can I speak? I think it's either Christy or Lisa. I'm still kind of confused if Andrew arrived around the same time as Lisa, if that makes them last and Christy second to last, or if Lisa would be second to last and Andrew was last. You know what I mean? Well, who died? That's kind of obvious. Brian is dead. Brian Olsen is dead. And then who is the killer? We obviously don't know that yet. We haven't looked at everything. Alright, so she's a tennis champion. She owned the blue sports bag. Why that is important? I don't know. We'll find out. Regional match, club photos day, practice exams, finals, tennis club. I think they're really just like, hey, she played tennis. I got it. Last day of school. Which we already know that she's not going to summer school and that Christy's going to summer school based off of her last name. But I think that's just kind of reiterating that the backpack is not Lisa's. Blow dryer in the chair. Interesting, okay. Holmes in mystery. Okay. It's obviously supposed to be like a Snickers bar or something. Lenties. Alright, why can't I pick that up? Is that because like it has peanuts and maybe Christy has a peanut allergy? That wasn't like explicitly said, but like I'm kind of just assuming. Okay, what is this? Food drive and soup kitchen. Okay. Oh, we already found everything in here. We haven't actually looked at the computer yet, though. Group chat. Racket scientists? Oh, racket because of tennis. Kitty Lover 54. What was today's date? What was the date? That we're, June 1st, 2003 is when, like, the whole thing happened. So that's in, May 23rd, 2003. Hey guys, even though school is over, do you still want to meet up and practice in the summer? Lord Killer 34? Okay. I'm fine with meeting up, but my family and I are going to be out of town around the end of July. Anybody else? Okay. Why is that important? Grad party. Vader 217. As you all know, a few of us are going to be graduating. We're going to have a grad party at our place at 7 p.m. on Saturday. Okay, so is this the... is this Brian's party, I'm guessing? I'm guessing, they are then like 18. They're graduating high school, but Christy has to go to summer school. Jester said, let's go! I'm bringing drinks. Okay, so Jester is Andrew. Gamer Boy. Why can't we all just go to the arcade? Strikers. Arcade, really? I don't understand how you enjoy that boring place. Okay. Gamer Boy. And what? Checking a whole bottle of Cordia Light is fun for you? Gracie. I'm gonna assume that's Grace. Just a wild guess. Just wild guess. I think the arcade is fine. You know what? If she's saying I think the arcade is fine. I was gonna say Brian. I think that's actually probably Brian. Who is saying, why can't we all just go to the arcade? 'Cause, like, why is she, like, sticking up for him? Chill, guys. I already made the preparations. I just want us to enjoy our last time as high schoolers together. Kitty Lover. Someone needs to watch over Eric. Make sure he doesn't drink too much. Okay. Interesting. Strikers, Party Pooper. I hope I don't need to know all of their freaking usernames because that sounds boring. You barfed all over the couch, you boozer. Took me a week to get rid of the smell. Okay, so that's Eric then. Okay, geez. I'll be more careful next time. Great, we'll see each other, this Saturday then. If you have questions or concerns, message in the group chat. What time are we gathering? Scroll up, you idiot. I already mentioned. I'm guessing like strikers. Hold on, strikers. That was Eric, right? Probably. Okay, private chat. Zane. Since Christy is graduating this year, we'll need a new captain. I think you'll be a good fit. What do you think? I was hoping you'd be up for the task. Let's talk about this tomorrow at school. I gotta go. Okay. Have you heard from Christy? She hasn't been to school in a few days. She's not picking up. You haven't heard? Cassie told me she was sexually assaulted by someone. Oh my goodness. WTF, please tell me they caught this MF. Easy there, cowboy. It's just a rumor and the school hasn't said anything yet. Hopefully it's nothing. I mean... Okay, like, first of all, like, believe the victims. But also, the school is not gonna say anything. They're gonna want to save face. Like, if the school... First of all, why would the school say something unless... Was it a teacher? I don't know if you heard, but word is going around that Christy was sexually assaulted by someone at school. She hasn't been to school in a few days. What? You better not be joking. What's the school doing about it? They haven't issued a statement. Hopefully it's nothing. You know how she is. She's such a drama queen. Okay, well that's ridiculous. Yeah, so Christy's the one that has the inhaler. Oh my goodness, really? Block. Block. We're crying out loud. Did that actually post? Yeah, let's clear chat. Like, why do people gotta be doing this shit? Where'd clear chat go? Hello? Yeah, why'd that disappear? Clear that? There we go. It's so annoying. People are so annoying. Or rather, that's probably a freaking bot. Anyway. Sorry about that. She's such a drama queen. You're lucky you have your brother. What's that supposed to mean? He's a big guy. Even guys are intimidated by him. The perfect creep deterrent. Guess who I saw trying to walk home with Christy today? You're definitely overacting. Girl, I'm telling you, he's 100% into Christy. I bet you that's the only reason he joined the tennis club. Okay. So maybe that's not... Maybe that's not Lisa's bag. It could be whoever this guy is. So they said that oh my god, as many people as there are, I'm starting to get confused. They said that Brian and Grace are dating. And Grace accuses Christy of having a crush on him. He's 100% into Christy. I bet you that's the only reason he joined the tennis club. Are they talking about Brian? If that is, thank God he did. He's one of our best players. So it could be whoever this is. He's gonna have a tough time getting through her brothers. Didn't someone say that they had a brother? Lisa has a brother. But I'm pretty sure this is Lisa. Getting through her brothers. No one else said that they had a brother. I know all of them. They're all pretty nice guys. Okay. So someone else very well may be the owner of the sports bag. Because there's a male on the tennis team. So that was from Lillian. Is there a Lillian in the grad party? That doesn't sound familiar. I don't think so. Alright, so that is everything in this room. So we have this room and that room. It's the bathroom. So that means that this one's gonna be Brian's room. Oh, and there's a key in the door. Alright. It doesn't look like there's anything in the bathroom because it just says case file, living room, kitchen, bedroom, bedroom. So I don't think there's gonna be any clues in the bathroom. I'm just gonna double check. I can't close the door. I was gonna see if there's anything behind the door. I don't think so. Okay. I don't think there's anything in the bathroom. Let's go into his room. So he was obviously killed in his room. Can we look at the key? I think it just says spare. Yeah, I think that just says spare. Looks like there's 2 spare keys. Maybe it's just like his room and her room. So that's obviously where done did happened. There is, let me click on that, a bullet casing. Like nobody heard a shot then? How did nobody hear a shot? So how's there no blood splatter? It's just like on the floor. I'll look at his laptop in a second. Wonder what's in there. That doesn't look like a guitar case. It looks like almost like there's like a keyboard or something in there. I don't know. That, I mean, I guess this is 2003, but that's old school right there. School District of Queens. Ooh, here we go. Student name. Brian Olson. May 28th, 2003. Number of days. So he was suspended for sexual harassment. So Brian sexually harassed. Brian. S-aid. We need to go back to... Wasn't it Christy? S-aid Christy, I believe. I'll double check on her computer. But I'm pretty sure it was Christy. So that's interesting. So that kind of confirms that, like, there's something going on with that. But, like, if it was SA, it wasn't consensual. So, like, that kind of tells me that, like, maybe Christy wasn't into him. I mean, I guess you can, I don't know. May 23rd, oh, sorry, 26, 2003, a student reported that Brian Olson had sexually assaulted her. These are serious allegations. I don't... Like, they would have put, like, her name in the thing, I feel like. But anyway, I know that they're doing that for the game anyway. The school contacted law enforcement and an investigation will be conducted. We ask that all parties involved keep this to themselves until the investigation is concluded. The parents of both parties have been notified. Conference has been scheduled. So he was suspended until further notice. Well, did that interfere with him graduating? Or was he able to do schoolwork from home? Okay, so this is the front door key. He has the front door key in his room. Is that his key or is that Lisa's key? Because she said she didn't have her key. Alright, there's 4 out of 7 in his room. Can I see this piece of paper? Dead Ironclad Killer is the band name. Band member Brian. Contact info, that's the address. Phone number, zip. Hammer mail, okay. Okay, so band members. Okay, 18 and 17, so that kind of... I mean, I figured that they were high schoolers. Why, if they're high schoolers, why do they have their own apartment? Because, like, they were doing a party before graduation, wasn't it? Or, like, or just after graduation? So, like, how did they already have an apartment, like, and they're, like, either haven't graduated high school yet or, like, barely graduated high school? What's up with that? That's weird. Like, hold on, I'm just gonna go real quick. I'm just curious. It said parent or guardian. Signature. Let me zoom in. The principal signature of school climate designee position title. It says parent. Oh, you would think that the parent would sign it. I'm like wondering, like, is he like orphaned or whatever? Is that why he lives on his own? Like, where are your parents, Brian? So Brian, Eric, Andrew, and Jack. So Lisa is not the owner of the bag. Lisa does play tennis, but she's not the drummer because she's not listed as a band member. So Brian obviously is a band member. Eric, which I should have known from the well, I think it was Jack. You're in the band. I play bass, but I sometimes play guitar. I'm more of Eric's friend. Yeah, he talks about the band right here. I just kind of forgot about it. So, yeah, Brian, Jack, Eric. And I don't think he mentions anybody else. But anyway, let's move on. So, Brian's in the band, obviously. And Eric is in the band. Andrew is in the band. And Jack is in the band. And then we know that... List all instruments and equipment you will be bringing. I mean, it doesn't say it on there. So Jack... Again, he said that he plays bass. Bass, but sometimes guitar. I don't think he mentions what Eric plays. We have Jack. Brian, Jack, Andrew, Eric. So Andrew and Eric, we don't know what they play. Andrew... he's the one that's has the anger issues and fighting issues and keeps drinking too much and passing out. And then Eric... So he's talking about his mistakes. And so there was in that, the duffel bag that we're trying to figure out who owns it. Show him, I was gonna show him up with my performance. I mean, you can't really bring drums with you unless you have like a drum pad or whatever. But he did have, in the duffel bag, music sheets with like some stuff written on it. So it could have been because he was having issues and he was like writing it down and stuff like that. But we don't know what they play. So let's see what's on his computer. Do group chat. As you all know, a few of us are going to be graduating. We already saw all this. This was also on Lisa's computer. And that's just confirmation that he's Vader, which we already kind of knew that. And so this is the band chat. We need to practice this week. Can we meet up this Tuesday? No can do. I have track meet on Tuesday. I have a race coming up real soon. So Strikers is in track. So whoever that is. Strikers is track. I can't do Tuesday either. I agreed to help with my dad at the store. And then Jester. Seems like most of us can't make it. Let's reschedule. What about Thursday? Thursday's fine. I'm good on Thursday. Same here. Cool. So, Gamerboy didn't say why he can't do Tuesday. Or Jester. But Striker says he has track meet. Unless that's like... he's just saying they have track meet. And he actually plays tennis. But doesn't want to tell them for whatever reason. Okay. Dude, you can't just bail. I'm really sorry something came up. We can't practice without a drummer. You're the only one who knows how to play the drums. Do you know how important that gig is? Okay, so... Jester is the drummer. So we need to figure out who, Jester is. I knew I was gonna have to figure out these freaking usernames. They can't just... Gracie is Grace. Everybody... take a little note from Gracie here and just make it your username, your name, please. That's like, it helps us out. It helps everybody out. Okay, so we need to figure out who Jester is. And in the group chat, Jester just said most of us can't make it. That's the only thing that he said. So he didn't give an excuse as to why he can't make it. So he plays the drums. He's the owner of the bag. So Gracie said... Gracie faxed something to Brian. Hey babe, what the hell am I looking at? This just came in today. Keep this between us, please. I don't want anyone else to know about this. Is this true? Of course not. You think I'd be sharing this if it was true. I bet you a million it was Christy. I was thinking the same. Can you talk to her? I swear I'm gonna kill her the next time I see her. Calm down. Don't make this worse than it is. Just talk to her. Only she can make this go away. Fine. Huh. Is this about the essay? But like... is this true? So she's asking him... oh, hold on, sorry. I think I got it mixed up. So that's why I was on there. He faxed his girlfriend that he got suspended for essaying her. She said this just came in. Keep it between us. She said, is this true? Of course not. You'd think I'd be sharing if it was true. So he's denying the allegation. He denies the allegation. So she's saying, I bet you Christy is... so maybe, like, it could be like Christy has a crush on him. And it's like, see, he likes me. But, like, that's like... I really don't like accusing someone who's, like accusing someone of lying if they were saying they were assaulted. That makes me feel icky, you know what I mean? I was thinking the same. Can you talk to her? Like, he could just also be saving face with Gracie, be like, I need to get ahead of this and tell her that I didn't do it. Or else, like, she's gonna break up with me if she finds out that I did it, you know what I mean? Don't make this worse than it is. Just talk to her. Only she can make this go away. Okay, so he's denying the allegations. Whoever Gamer Boy is, You come over to my place on Saturday. I want to go over the bass arrangement for the new song. Okay. So, bass. Gamer boy bass, which means that is Jack. Band member, bass guitar, gamer boy. So that is Jack. So if we have then obviously Vader is Brian. Vader's Brian. I'm gonna assume he plays guitar because he seems like he's the lead of the band. And the lead usually is like the guitars, like and or the singer, you know what I mean? I want to go over the bass arrangement. I'll come over at 5. I'll be at my dad's store until then. That reminds me, do you think your dad would be willing to be a sponsor for the gig? I can ask, ... He seems like hesitant. Sweet, let me know what he says. Okay. So, again, Vader is Brian, probably guitar and or singer. Strikers plays track. We don't know who that is. Gamer Boy is Jack, and he plays bass. Jester is the drummer. So we need to figure out who is Jester, who is Strikers. And the people we have left is Andrew and Eric. Andrew and Eric. We can go back to the group chat about the party. Jester, I'll bring drinks. Andrew said that he brought drinks, right? Was it Andrew or Eric? Me, Andrew or Eric? Yeah, you're the one who brought the drinks. You're not old enough to drink. How'd you purchase them? That's Andrew. So, in the group chat, not the, yeah, that one. Let's go. I'm bringing drinks. Jester is Andrew. Andrew, because he brought drinks. So that's Jester, and then that means that Strikers is Eric. Strikers is Eric, and he plays track, but that still doesn't tell us who plays tennis. You can go back to Lisa's computer and see if we get a hint on that one. So Eric wanted to go to the arcade. Jack wanted to go to the arcade. And Eric was like, what do you mean arcade? Jack. Chugging drinks is fun for you, whatever. Gracie, the arcade's fine. So, hold on. Gamer Boy. Jack wanted to go to the arcade. Gracie. Okay, so yeah, Jack and Grace arrived together. Were they dating? Because they seem like she's defending him. But Grace was dating Brian. But she seems to be taking Jack's side. So this is Lisa. Someone needs to watch over Eric, make sure he doesn't drink too much. Which I think he did because he ended up passing out. They probably did drink too much. Just make sure there's nothing else important in this. Yeah, that's tracks because he was asking what time we're gathering again. And Eric, well no, Eric was the 4th to arrive. Andrew was the last to arrive. Gamer Boy. Jack. Jack said that he needed to help his dad at the store. Gamer Boy, Jack, Dad, store. Jester, aka Drummer Andrew, said that he just couldn't do it. And this is on Tuesday. On Tuesday, and this is 5:20. Let me just write that down. 5:25 Tuesday, because maybe that was gonna interact with like a tennis thing. So if he's the drummer, I'm gonna say he's also playing tennis. That's what I'm gonna guess that. I'm gonna real quick. Oh, there's one more thing in that room. I'm gonna real quick go in here. Just said Lord Killer. That's not anybody that we know or anybody important, really. Yeah, so she did private message Andrew. Yeah, so she messaged whoever Zane is. We don't know who Zane is. Zane wasn't in the grad party one, was it? I don't think so. No, so I don't think that person's important. So Lisa messaged Andrew. Have you heard from Christy? She hasn't been at school. You haven't heard? Cassie told me. Who's Cassie? That she was sexually assaulted. Just a rumor. Okay, so why is Lisa telling Andrew that? Unless, well, is Lisa and Andrew brother and sister? Or the allegations is, allegations against her brother. She must be Brian's brother. Have you heard the allegations? Because in the police report, they asked Lisa if she's heard about the allegations against her brother. So her brother being Brian. Have you heard about the allegations that Brian SA'd somebody? And she seems that she didn't know. But this is... No, it can't be. No, it's not, because Lisa's the roommate. Who's the brother? Who's Lisa's brother? I think maybe it's Andrew. Maybe Andrew's her brother. I don't know. I don't know. They don't say who her brother is. I don't know if that's important. We don't know who that is. Talking about how she's a drama queen. You're lucky you have your brother. Yeah, I don't know who that is. He's 100% into Christy. I bet that's the only reason he joined the tennis club. That's gotta be Andrew, right? Whoever Lillian is. Saying, guess who I saw walk home with Christy today? I'm telling you, he's 100% into Christy. I bet you that's the reason why he joined tennis. He's one of our best players. He's gonna have a tough time getting through her brothers. I'm gonna change this. And instead of that being Lisa, that's gonna be Andrew. He's the drummer of the band, which means he also plays tennis. We still don't have a hint about who the killer is, though, actually. I don't think I've seen any hint about that. This is gonna be one of those instances where I'm gonna, like, just guess, isn't it? So in his room, there supposedly is one more clue. He also has a key. That's probably a car key. That's what that looks like. I don't see anything else. I feel like that oftentimes happens where it says that there's a clue and I'm like, freaking where, bro? Oh, right there. He plays guitar. Yeah, that's a guitar case right there. I don't know what that is. I mean, that very well could just be like, I don't know. Like, I don't know, sound equipment or something. But there's one more clue in here. Somewhere, supposedly. Can't open any drawers. I don't know what the heck that is. I don't know. That's maybe like a musician thing that I don't know. Oh, but he also has... I mean, that's probably just to throw off that he has, guitar, not guitar, he has drumsticks back there, but like, if he's like the lead of the band, then like, that's probably just like he has a little bit of everything. There wasn't anything else left on the computer, was it? I don't think so. Where is this other clue at? Like, I saw that. And obviously already did that. Why does it say application? Oh, application for that, okay. For the band thing. This happens every single time. Where the like, there's always a clue. Oh, is that it? No, that's this. I can't actually do anything. I think it's to close the door, but I can't actually close the door. Watch, this clue is the one that's gonna be like, this is obviously the killer because of this clue. Duh. What is that? Oh, that's headphones. I don't think that's really that helpful besides the band members. I can't open any drawers. What the heck is the last freaking thing? I think they're lying. I think they're lying. Can I get on the bed? No, I can't. Like, what on earth could it be? Should we start guessing? What do we think? Should we start guessing? Like, usually there's like something under the bed. I can't click on that. His bed is made. That means unless he was sleeping on top of the bed, his bed looks like it has been undisturbed. So that's like, the thing that kind of bugs me about this game is that there is a heavy level of like assumption because we're really not finding any evidence of who did it. I like look through his freaking trash or something? Like, come on. Okay. Alright, well I'm not finding another clue. Like, I don't, where it is, I have no idea. I have no idea. Okay, let's go back to this. So obviously Brian's dead. Andrew's a sports bag owner. Second to last to arrive. I'm gonna put Lisa. And then, well, if that's ends up being wrong, I'm gonna put Christy, just because that just kind of makes sense. let's kind of overview this a little bit. Some of their stories didn't match up, did they? So let's just go back over it again. Did you see Brian on the 31st of May? Was the 31st of May the essay? Now that we've kind of like seen everything. So the date of the suspension was May 28th. So that would have been after the essay. And it was signed on the 30th. So if she did see him, that would be kind of weird. If like he did essay her, then like why would she go see him? But that's like the only instance of saying like, did you see Brian on the 31st of May? Like, that's interesting. Did you have physical contact with him at all during this week? Did you have physical contact with him at all during this week? Interesting. So then, did he essay her? Because like, if he essayed her, that would, I feel like, constitute physical contact. Maybe a week and a half ago. Are you aware Mr. Brian Olsen is dead? Maybe a week and a half ago. Where were you on the night of the 31st of May? I was at home. Yeah, so hers is kind of suspicious, because if she's, like, accusing him of essaying her... Did you see Brian on the 31st after the essay was accused? No, she didn't see him. On that, like, after the essay, after she accused him. Did you have any physical contact with him during that week? Like, if you're accusing him of essay, wouldn't that answer be yes? I don't know. That seems kind of strange. Jack plays bass. We already know that. I was working most of the day. Bumped into Grace in the lobby. Oliver said something to drink. Might be unclear. Remember, Grace was being pretty obnoxious the whole night. Grace was being... Why did... I'm just looking over my notes. Why did Gracie point out that Christy had braided green hair? Why is that relevant? Because I didn't see any, like, hair strands or anything else. If we saw oops, sorry. We saw, like any green hair strands, I feel like that would be relevant, but I don't know. It doesn't seem very relevant. Unless there's, like, a green hair on his pillow. We can take a look at that in a little bit. Kind of zoom in a little bit. How close are you with your brother? Are you aware of the allegations towards him? Huh? What allegations? I mean, she could be living with her brother. She could be living with her brother. Andrew's been suspended a few times for getting into fights. Andrew got in a fight over a girl. I'm just gonna have to guess, aren't I? Unless it's like... is it obvious to anyone else who killed him? Is it obvious to anyone? Leave it in the comments below if you think it's obvious and who you think it is. I don't know if any of this stuff is important. Or like, what is important. I'm gonna, I'm gonna kind of zoom in real quick. Is the green hair important? Is there a green, like a single strand of green hair somewhere that I'm supposed to, like, see? Okay, I'm just gonna do a guess real quick to see where we're at. So I feel like Christy has motivation if he actually did essay her. Grace, I feel like could have motivation if he did essay her, you know, if like they're dating and stuff like that. Let's say Christy. We're just gonna guess. And then we'll come back and fix whatever ones are wrong. What do you mean? What do you mean Brian didn't die? What do you... What? Are you serious? I don't even know who's dead. I don't even know who's dead. Are you kidding me? Okay, so Lisa was second to last to arrive. And Andrew is the owner of the bag. At least I got those right. Are you kidding me? Are you absolutely kidding me? How did I get wrong who's dead? That's Brian's room. Oh my god, how do I... Okay, we're like... Wow, okay. Alright, give me 1 second real quick. Alright. I'm actually really surprised slash annoyed that, like, was it not leading up to it being Brian that's dead? I mean, that is Brian's room, obviously. Oh, hello. Oh my goodness. What just happened? Let's open all these doors back up. Alright. How on earth is it not telling me who is dead? Like, oh my god. Okay, well, are we gonna have to read through all these? Like, actually read through them again? Because how is it not Brian that's dead? We didn't interview Brian. So how is it not Brian? That makes absolutely no sense. That makes absolutely no sense to me. How is it not Brian that's dead? So we didn't even interview Brian. So like, he's the only one that's not here. I'm very confused. I'm very confused. Okay. That is his name, right? Brian Olsen? What if it's just Brian? Brian Olsen? What if I just type in Brian? But I think we figured out in the last one that the last name... Like, you can do the last name or not do the last name, and I don't think it matters. Alright, let's read through these again. I don't really want to. But I think this is where we're gonna find these answers. Okay, so Christy Carter. The one who has an inhaler and an EpiPen and has to go to summer school. And who accused Brian of essaying her, and who Grace accuses of having a crush on Brian / you know, Grace's boyfriend. Did you see Brian on the 31st after the essay? No. Did you have physical contact with him during that week? No, which seems like that's probably a lie. Was the last time you spoke with him? Maybe a week and a half ago? Are you aware that Mr. Brian... No, so Brian Olsen is dead. What do you mean? Are you aware that Brian Olsen is dead? Brian Olsen is dead. It says it right there. It says, are you aware that Brian Olsen is dead? Who died? Brian. It says it right there. Can I just... Hold on. I'm gonna say, since it wasn't I'm gonna put, just as like a random guess, let's put Grace. Brian is dead. We're gonna submit that and see if not putting his last name fixes it. It literally says it right there. Okay, so in the last one, the last name didn't matter because remember in the last one, they had a restraining order against their abusive ex-husband, and she ended up changing her last name and her kids' last names after the divorce. And so I remember testing it out to see if changing the last names in the answers mattered, and it didn't matter. I used both of her last names, her married last name and her maiden name that she changed it back to, and it didn't matter. But you're telling me now on this one, saying Brian Olsen, well that's wrong, even though it literally says, do you know that Brian Olsen is dead? You know what I mean? But this time, no, you can't put his last name. Okay. Okay. That's annoying. Be consistent. Unless I typed his last name wrong, but I don't think did I say Olsen? Olsen? Olson. Did I spell it wrong? I could have spelled it wrong. Whatever, it doesn't matter. His name is Brian. He's the one that's dead. I was right. I might have just misspelled it. Anyway. Wait, hold on. Where were you on the night of the 31st of May? What time or what day was the party? What day was the party? Party... We're graduating. We're gonna have a grad party at our place. 7 o'clock on Saturday. Let's look at the calendar. Yeah, Saturday the 31st. So, that already is a lie. Because... No, that's not what I was meant to look at. Because it says... I guess, did you go see Brian on the 31st of May? She didn't, like, go specifically to see him, but, like, she arrived at the party. Right? He was killed last night in his apartment. Where were you the night of the 31st? I was at home. So she said that she's at home, but people literally said that Christy left. Or they saw Christy there, right? We'll have to double check that. Jack, in the band. I play bass. Not really friends with Brian. More friends with Eric. Known them since elementary school. Eric introduced him to Brian and we played in the band together. I was working most of the day, because this is Jack, who works at his dad's store. Jack works at his dad's store, so I was mostly, I worked most of the day. I eventually left and headed to Brian's place. I bumped into Grace in the lobby, and we both went up together. I mean, I feel like if he was working before the party, that doesn't really matter, considering that, like, he died at the party. So, like, if that's a lie or not a lie, I don't think that really matters. He arrived at 6:45. At the same time as Grace. Does Grace, say that too? It says she arrived when Christy left. So Christy was there. So Christy was lying when she said she didn't see Brian. There's a guy at the front desk. Always had something to drink, so might be unclear. I do remember Grace was being pretty obnoxious the whole night. After I finished my drink, I left the apartment. She bumped into Grace at the lobby, and then she was being obnoxious at the party. And Grace was the one that was dating Brian. So why was she being obnoxious? Was she, maybe she was the one jealous of Christy. I don't know. She was accusing Christy of liking her boyfriend. I feel like there's still music playing, but it's like... Oh, this is like just like a really long song of like just like a really ominous tone. So after he finished his drink, he left the apartment. So Jack said that he left. Jack said that he left. Brian was smoking heavily and I can't stand the smell of it. I don't know if I saw evidence of anything smoking related. There's no cigarettes anywhere. There's no ashtrays. There's nothing. There's no evidence. Let me look in the kitchen. There's the beer bottles. Anything in the trash? Like, there's literally no evidence to suggest that Brian smoked. This is his house, so if he was smoking... If he was smoking, then there would be like, there would be some sort of smoking paraphernalia. You know what I mean? There's absolutely nothing. Nothing whatsoever. Actually, hold on. Right, never mind. That's the one thing right there. There's ashes. I was wondering what was on that plate. And I kind of just brushed it off. That could be like cigarette butts and, like ashes on the plate. Why would you use a plate and not like an actual like plate instead of like a paper plate, your cup over there? Like, why would you use an actual plate? But that is the only bit of evidence that there was any sort of smoking in the house. That's it. You would think you would at least find a pack of cigarettes somewhere. Why is there like a dirty shoe? Ew. Also, why do you have a traffic cone? What's up with that? Like, I heard something that like made me jump. Like, you have paper plates right there. Why are you using your good like kitchen plate? Anyway. So, okay, maybe so he was smoking. You would think again that the last hint in here would be like a package of, like a pack of cigarettes. But you see nothing of the sort. Something under there, I can't tell what it is. And you would also think too that if Brian was a smoker, you would see evidence that he smoked in his room as well. So really anyone could have been the smoker, but anyway, we're gonna move on. We're gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he was smoking because I see that on the plate. But that's the only evidence, which is kind of strange to me. So then Jack said he went back home. Can anyone corroborate your story? Why can no one say that? So Christy said she lied. She was there, but she left. People saw her leave. Jack said that he left, but said nobody can corroborate it. But Christy said she wasn't there. Said wasn't there. Said wasn't there. People saw her left. People saw her leave. People saw her... Putting this in my notes. People saw her leave, so Christy seems like she's lying. We already know, though, that she didn't do it. Because we guessed that. And it was wrong. And we also know it's not Grace. Jack is seeming, like, upset, though, that he's asking if anyone can agree that he left. Lisa, she's the roommate. How close are you with your brother? Close enough. We don't talk about deep things. He mostly keeps to himself. Are you aware of the allegations against him? I'm very confused again, though, because we're talking about allegations. Like, because this is Lisa's room, right? Unless I'm reading that wrong. Because she was talking something about... Wait, hold on. Have you heard from Christy? Oh yeah, okay, never mind. Christy was sexually assaulted. You better not be joking. They haven't issued a statement. You're lucky you have your brother. This is who I saw walking with Christy. You're overreacting. I feel like I'm gonna have to figure out who these girls are, aren't I? Because we know who the guys are. Am I gonna have to figure out who the girls are? Because that's gonna be kind of annoying. So I thought that... I don't know. I don't remember where I saw that at. But, I thought I saw that, like, Brian wasn't her. Whatever. Anyway. What allegations? Out of the attendees, has anyone shown any violent behavior? Andrew's been suspended a few times. Can you recall the last time he got into a fight? He and the other guys were fighting over a girl. You don't think he actually did it? Usually you lock your room. Brian sometimes has friends over, so I lock it anytime I have to head out. You said you lost your key. I was coming home from a friend's house. I accidentally left it there. Brian must have let them in. Do you have a spare key? It was already gone. How'd you get into your room? Brian let me in. Andrew bought the drinks. Okay, Andrew was still there. Okay. She was in the bathroom, and Andrew came in. Andrew came at the same time Lisa. At the same time as Lisa, everyone else was already there. I'm kind of suspicious of Andrew, honestly. I was puking for quite a bit, and then I woke up Eric. And then where was Jack? I don't know, none of them saw him from the rest of the night. Jack said that he left and that nobody could see, no one saw him leave. No one saw him the rest of the night. I mean, if no one saw him for the rest of the night, then he could have left and no one noticed. Did you contaminate the drinks? No, I didn't. I feel like we're gonna guess, Andrew next. Ugh. Hey, Grace and Brian have been dating. So Chrissy's not guilty. We already guessed that one. Arrived at the same time as Jack. We got out of the elevator in time to see Christy leave the apartment and run off. So, like, that just, like, proves that Christy was lying. But that doesn't really matter because she didn't do it. Again, why is it important that she has dyed green hair and braids? Like, why is that important? You call if anyone passed out before you did. I don't know. Okay. Eric was the fourth to arrive. Brian, Grace, and Jack were already there. Must have missed something because Grace's attitude was off the entire time. Maybe because Grace saw, hold on, but Grace, what did she say? In time to see Christy leave the apartment and run off. So wait, so Christy got there second. If it's true that she saw Christy leave, then Christy was there, like, before everyone else and had an interaction with Brian. Brian, Grace, and Jack were already there. Must have been some, her attitude was off the entire time. I don't know. Jack and Brian were arguing for a bit. Things got pretty heated, but Brian eventually got up and locked himself in his room. And Jack is the one that said that he left. Maybe he actually left because they got into a fight and not because of his smoking. Which Jack is the bass guitarist. says that you discovered the body, but then like also didn't Lisa say that she found the body? And then Andrew said that he was against calling the cops. Lisa tells me he had an argument with Brian last week. Oh yeah, over the girl. Okay, let's just guess. Let's just guess. Andrew is sus. Andrew is sus. Okay, it wasn't Andrew. We're just gonna do- I never can figure out who actually killed the person. I'm a terrible detective. I'm a terrible detective. I can figure everything else out, but like it's just like I want more evidence. Like if I could find a piece of green hair, that would be one thing. Because then that would point to Grace. Oh, Christy, I mean. But we already guessed Christy and it wasn't her. But like, I'm just like guessing based off of people's interactions with each other. Which I don't really like that. What about Jack? Jack said that he left, but he could have like... Well, they could have climbed in through the window, but I highly doubt it. We're on the 4th floor, so like... I doubt that he climbed in through the window. I mean, is it supposed to be because there's a bass guitar in here? I don't know how we're supposed to get that from that. How are we supposed to get that? I don't like how it also doesn't give me the answer. Like, what are we supposed to... I don't know. Like, there, I don't really feel like I see evidence that it was Jack. I really don't. Like, is it just, like, based off of being, like, lying? I don't know. He said he left. But, like, the only thing in, Brian's room, like, yeah, there's, like, a guitar there. But there still is another clue we haven't found. And I'm wondering if that clue is like what we're missing. You know? Because like I literally cannot find another clue in here. Like not in the least bit. I've looked everywhere. Because Jack is the bass guitarist. So like... I'm not really... I don't understand. I don't really understand how we're supposed to understand that based off of like... I don't know, they're like lying testimonies? I don't know. Because there's another freaking clue in here that I legitimately cannot find. So, I don't know. I don't know how we're supposed to get that, but I mean, it was Jack. There's a clue that we didn't get, that we couldn't find, and I don't really understand. I don't really understand. Maybe we should have gone with the 1-star scenarios and not... Well, this is a 1.5 stars. The 2-star... Oh, hold on. I didn't actually mean to do that. I thought that was gonna open up... I didn't actually want to do that. Can we close? No, let's close. I thought it was gonna open up like how the other two did, like different scenarios. No, we're not gonna do this one. We're actually gonna end here. Nope, 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 nope. Nope, nope. Nope. Let's save and quit. Yeah, I didn't mean to actually click that, because they're the ones, like, they have, like, different, levels, you know what I mean? But we're gonna call that one there. I'm a terrible detective. I'm terrible. I really do think that there's either a clue, like, either it said 6 out of 7 and there's supposed to only be 7 clues, or, like, I don't know, did the developers forget to put a clue in? Or is it just because it's a dark room and, like, I have these 2 lights shining in my face, and I'm like... I can't see if it's, like, really dark. So that last clue very well could have been like the thing that I'm supposed to figure it out, or I'm just supposed to be guessing based off of people's testimonies, which is like I don't know. You're supposed to find clues, not just be like, oh, well, I'm just assuming it's them. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm a terrible detective, but we're gonna call the, we're gonna call the stream there. We're gonna call the video there. Once again, if you're in the Twitch stream, I do post my VODs on YouTube, and if you are watching the VOD on YouTube, I do live stream on Twitch. Link is in the description below. I will be back tomorrow with The Sims 4. So yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Bye.